Everyone, I'm Jasmine Sidhu and I welcome you all to my online classes. Today I'll be taking up the poem Wind penned down by Subramania Bharati. This poem is mentioned in English Book of Class 9 prescribed by CBSE and the name of the book is Beehive. Let's first have a look at the life of the poet. The original name of poet is Chinnaswamy Subramania Bharati and he was born on 11 December 1882. He was a Tamil poet. He was also a journalist, Indian independence activist and a social reformer. Popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati, he was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all times. Bharati's influence on Tamil literature is phenomenal. He covered political, social, and spiritual themes. He paved the way for modern blank verse. Rather, this poem Wind is also written in blank verse. The poet passed away on 11 September 1921. Now, let's see the setting of this poem. This poem is originally written in Tamil language and translated in English by A.K. Ramanujan. Now, if you see the title of the poem, it is Wind. It's not the wind. The definite article the is not used along with the title of the poem. That means the poet is taking wind as a natural phenomena that has the potential of being both a destroyer and a creator. Now, very beautifully, the poet over here is bringing out four facets of wind, right? The first one is of a naughty child, the second, a raging youth, the third, a destructive youth, and finally, the fourth face of the wind is of a very, very helpful friend. Now, over here, the poet he is taking the ferociousness of wind as a symbol of adversities in life. We know that every human being has ups and downs in his life, as life is not a cakewalk, right? So, how the poet wants us to take these challenges? He's giving a very, very strong message through this poem that we should be mentally tough and physically strong so that we could survive the hardships of life. Otherwise, weak people they fall down like the weak building. They are easily broken by the strong people. And he's saying to all of us that we should make these destructive forces means we should accept our challenges, our bad experiences positively in our life, and how we should make such things our friends with our strength and determination, right? Let's have a look at the poetic devices used in the poem. Now, the first poetic device over here is anaphora. As I explained to you in my previous session, what is anaphora? It is basically a word which is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines. Over here, we'll see that the word don't, you, and crumbling, they are being repeated in first, second, and third stanzas respectively, right? Second device used over here is personification. Personification means giving human attributes to some abstract idea or to inanimate objects. Over here, the first personification is you tore the pages of the book. Over here, the pronoun you is used, that's why it's a personification. We are referring wind as a human being, right? We are addressing him as a person. Then the second line again, he makes strong fires roar and flourish. Again, we are using the pronoun he, right? And we refer wind as a person who has tremendous power and energy, which can be constructive and destructive, right? Then the third poetic device used over here is metaphor. Metaphor is basically a figure of speech in which two unlike objects are compared by identification or by substitution of one by another. An example is if you see the line is same, you tore the pages of the book. So this line is personification as well as metaphor. How come it's a metaphor? Because in personification, this line we were giving, we were using you pronoun over here, right? And we were talking about the wind as a person. Over here, we are describing the action of the wind. If you see that, wind will come, pick up your copy and tear the pages, it is not possible, right? So we are describing the action of the wind as a mischievous act of a naughty child, right? That's why it's a metaphor. The second line, you are very clever at poking fun at the weakling. Now, again, here we are describing wind as a powerful human being who terrifies, means he scares, and then he laughs at the weak and helpless people, right? So, these were the poetic devices. Now, let's begin with the poem. This poem is having 5 paragraphs. Let's start with the first one. Wind comes softly. Don't break the shutters of the window. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. Now, if you remember, don't is being repeated over here in second, third, and fourth line. So it's the anaphora poetic device. Now, in this beginning of the paragraph, the poet is requesting to the wind that please come softly, because he doesn't want that the shutters means doors, the doors of the windows should be banging with each other and it should be breaking. So he's requesting that please come gently. And then he's further saying that don't scatter the papers on the floor and don't throw the books from the shelf on the floor, because when the wind is fast it is supposed to cause destruction. So he is requesting that you come slowly so that my papers are not scattered, my books do not fall down from the bookshelf. The second paragraph, he says, there, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Weaklings, you understand? Weak people or weak things, right? The literary devices I've already told you over here, right? Now, in this paragraph, the tone of the poet changes. In the first paragraph, the poet was humbly requesting and he was taking it as a naughty child. Like when we have small children in our houses and you are seriously doing some work, the child will come and scatter your things, or the child will tease you so that the elder person should get irritated. That's the naughtiness of small children. So in the beginning of the poem he was requesting and he was taking him as a naughty child, that you're coming and you are spoiling my things. But in the second paragraph the tone changes. Now he is accusing the wind. He's saying that, see what you have done. You have torn the pages of my book. And when he looked outside, he saw the formation of the clouds and he told that because of you, wind, the clouds are formed and you have brought the rain. And finally, he says that you are very smart, wind, that when you destroy the weak things, you laugh at their weaknesses. Right? The third paragraph says, frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts, the wind god winnows and crushes them all. Over here, if you see the word frail, frail means weak, crumbling means breaking down. Rafters, if you see, these are wooden framework which makes as a base for the roof, right? So in this the poet is giving us the third phase of the wind. The first paragraph was the naughty child. Second, he was seeing that raging attitude of the wind. And the third one, it is finally the destructive phase, and he's telling to the wind that what all havoc the wind has caused. He says that you have broken the houses, you have broken weak houses, weak doors, you have pulled down the rafters means you have broken the weak roofs, which were wooden roofs, right? And further, if you see the words crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts, over here, the poet is trying to tell us that the destruction which the wind has caused. Many times, when natural calamities occur, people lose, people, uh, you know, uh, they lose their near and dear ones. The lives of the near and dear ones, it's lost. They die in such calamities, right? So similarly, he's saying that when you are at the peak of your destruction phase, the damage you are doing to the lives of the people those who are losing their near and dear ones. Somebody died uh, from somebody's family. You cannot understand how you have crippled their life. That pain in the heart cannot be undone. The dead person cannot become life. So he's saying that you are crumbling the lives, you are crumbling the hearts, and you are crumbling the bodies as well. And in the last line, he is again taking wind as a symbol over here, symbol of winnower. Winnower, if you see, the process of winnowing is separation of grain from the chaff. Now he is saying that wind is seeming to be a god, and if we see the Tamil mythology, Tamil culture, over there, wind is treated as god. So he says that you, as a god, you are very smart and you are separating the strong things from the weak ones, and when you have separated the weak ones, you crush them all. You eliminate those weak things from the earth. Similarly, if you have ever seen the storm in your city, many trees get uprooted, the branches, they fall down. Why these things happen? Because the roots were not strongly there in the soil, right? So being weak trees, weak branches, they are uprooted. Similarly, he's saying over here that when you separate the strong things, and you identify the weak things, you eliminate these weak things, right? Similarly, he's trying to give us the message that strong people are able to sustain and survive, but the weak people, they get destroyed. Now see the fourth and fifth paragraph. Now over here, the poet is talking to the audience. First three paragraphs he was talking with the wind. Now he is talking to the people, those who are reading the poem. He says he won't do what you tell him. He says that as a human being, if you say that wind, don't come today, I'm not interested to welcome you today, come tomorrow, will he do that? No, this won't happen. So he's saying that we cannot dictate terms to the wind. Rather, we should find out a solution. And what is the solution he is giving? He's saying, so come, let's build strong homes. Let's joint the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. Steadfast means firm, right? Unwavering. So he says that if we want that we should not be shaken by the wind, what we need to do is we should make strong houses. Our doors should be joined firmly so that they are not easily shaken by the wind. And the second thing which we need to do is we need to make our bodies and hearts strong, right? We should have immense strength so that we can withstand strong winds. Strong winds means difficulties of life. If we are physically and mentally strong, nobody can shake us, right? So he is telling to the people that we cannot, we cannot tell the wind that don't come. Rather, we should find out the solutions in our life to face such problems and be resilient. We should have the capability to bounce back to life, right? And in the last paragraph, he says, do this and the wind will be friends with us. He's saying that if you yourself will become strong with strong houses, obviously wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. Over here, flourish means grow. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So the poet believes that if we are strong enough, right, we will not be shaken by the wind. Rather, wind will be friends with us, right? Only the weak people, they break and fall. Strong people, they become more strong in the adversities of life. You'll see that they become victorious in such challenging situations. They don't run away from the situation, they are not escapist. They have the courage, they have the willpower that if some difficulty has come in our life, we need to face it, right? So that is what he is saying. Similarly, the wind, he's saying that wind, it extinguishes weak fires. And what happens with the strong fires? He says that the flames of fire which are burning strongly, wind further makes it strong, and that too with a roar, with a loud sound, right? And in the last two lines, he says that if we will befriend wind, it will be good for us only, because even in our normal lives, we praise strong and, people, those who have willpower to face the problems of life. We appreciate those people and we want to be friends with those people. We take them as, an example, as our ideals, right? So, this is what the poet is trying to tell us, that we should be physically and mentally strong and take the challenges in a stride to have a successful life. So, this is all about this poem. This is the glossary I am giving you, children. You could go through it if you are having any doubts. And I thank you all for watching this video. If you have liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe so that you can be further notified for my upcoming videos. Thank you, everyone.